This meeting is being recorded.
Hey, everybody. Happy Health Habits crew. We have February 28th. We have one more day of the month. Tomorrow, 29th. Leap into wellness. March Madness. March into wellness on Friday, the 1st. So we're excited. A bunch of challengers coming down the pike for the walking. If you didn't see the fun video on what everybody got out of it last time, it is super fun. It's really inspiring, about how much more people got out of it than they thought they would. So it's fun to watch. So bring friends, the more the merrier. Everyone can walk. All right, and just more fun than anything. No purchase necessary. And inspiration, motivation, tips, tricks, the whole deal. Remember, it happens in the first post is in the Optimal Life Facebook group, which Betty, you're not on Facebook, right?
No.
Yeah, so I don't think you're just signed up for the challenge, but nonetheless, we go at our pace, at our timing, in our own, safety level. We can follow the calendar. If you can keep up with the calendar, great. If you can't, you go 1%, just challenge yourself 1% better, each day or each week. I've got one gal who wants to walk from one end of the apartment building to the other end of the apartment building. That's her challenge for herself because she's not walking at all. You know what I'm saying? So
my challenge is it says for me to walk 2,800. I put it at 3,000, and I try to make that the last week. I try to make that every day.
Oh, good. That's
great.
So
wow. Yeah.
That's thumping up and down my hallway, but it's thumping.
That's fantastic. And just use this as a time to check in, to stay focused, right? Participate, cheer other people on, post photos and have some fun with it. Everybody, we have our bus, but then we have the bigger bus, right? Everyone in that group is in the bigger bus. So they are still trying to do what we're trying to do as well. So anyway, and by the way, during anytime your friends can come to this if they need a little support or encouragement. Anyone can come. All right, so don't forget that. So we're going to talk about women's health today, and we're going to talk about that because that was a really great webinar. We talked about the challenge. I know some of you are not. Let's see. I don't know. Hi, Roxy. Yeah, that I think they're going to leave registration open all the way through to probably through the first week, just for the latecomers, late adopters. The excuses little snippet David did was a great little video. I don't know if anyone watched the excuse video, and then we're going to share some wins of the week as well. I did shoot in an extra thing there yesterday, the Worthy webinar. It had Oprah, and it had in the chat group, it had a big day-long event on Saturday with all kinds of motivational speakers like Maxwell and Oprah and Tony Robbins and oh gosh, all kinds of people. So go back and try to find that if you would like. That was a really fun extra little find that I've been enjoying. So just to focus on the bus here real quick. Oh wait, I have to say, let me screen share for a second here. Hold on. Martha, I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to see hear your updates of where you're at with your goals and your vision board. Hold on just a second. Let me get back to this. All right. Okay. All right, good. So I don't know if anybody saw, I did a couple little posts this week about American Health Month and women. Guys, tomorrow's the last day of American Health Month. Women, just a reminder, number one cause of death in the country is heart disease. And Sharon has had several people lately who have made it to retirement and who went to the grave saying, I know what to do, I just need to do it, and never did it. I have a girlfriend of mine who just got, her sister was her sister was just hospitalized with a minor heart attack, 44 years old yesterday, or last week rather. 44 years old, and it just remember, it is not ever minor, and it's always love yourself enough today to put yourself at the top of your priority list, because everyone in your life needs you around, and they want the best of you. They don't want the rest of you, right? Don't forget that. They want the best, not the rest. You go first, oxygen mask first, because your life depends on it. Okay. So remember that whenever we are in the feeling calm and relaxed and productive in our mind, you know, in our body and our mind, that we're at the top of that polyvagal ladder. Whenever we're in fight or flight, or we're depressed, or we can't get out of bed and we're really super sad and we're really depressed, these are just phases of the autonomic nervous system dysfunction. So always remember, before you make a choice, before you do the wrong thing, take a moment, right? So take a moment, self hugs, the breathing, page 118 of the life book, the deep belly breaths, that will help regulate the nervous system, right? Get your mind and your body back into sync so you can make correct decisions. So while I am reading this note out of the energy bus, you guys can just calm yourselves, rocking back and forth, just self hugs, give yourself a nice deep few breaths. And I have a couple points out of this book to read today. The ultimate, it's rule number, it's chapter number 19, the ultimate rule of positive energy. So last week we touched on energy vampires. Who's got an energy vampire in their life? Anybody? Energy vampire. I had one I was interacting with on Facebook today. Wow, her negative energy came right through there. It's pervasive. So this is a great quote. Your positive energy and vision must be greater than anyone and everyone's negativity. Your positive energy and vision must be greater than anyone or everyone's negativity. Your certainty must be greater than anyone's doubt. Love that. Doubt will kill you. Doubt will kill you. There will be people who don't want you to succeed always, because it makes them see their own weaknesses and faults. Do you guys have anybody in your life that does that? They don't want you to succeed. They try to sabotage you. It's really because they see their own weaknesses. They see their own failures, and they don't like it. They don't want you to succeed. And it says, rather than driving their own bus, they're trying to ruin everyone else's ride.
Yes.
Right. So don't allow it. No energy vampires. So it's got, and you have to exercise this habit of positivity, right? And of positive thinking. You have to exercise it. It doesn't just happen. It's your vision needs to be the vision boards. Okay, y'all, most of you have done or started a vision board. I know Sandy's probably a stalemate, but your vision board needs to be super clear. Work that vision like a muscle. And like Martha says, put your SMART goals on the vision board. I've got a couple clients who've done it, and it's really earth shattering for them. They really love that piece. So, so positive energy is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The stronger it gets, the more powerful you become. Repetition is the key. And the more you focus on positive energy, focusing on your vision board and the fact that it will happen, it becomes natural. So then you can overcome other people's negativities. And it gives an example of a golfer who just sits and thinks and lists. Golfers, they visualize, right? Many people in sports, Olympic athletes, they visualize the hole in one. They visualize the perfect landing, right? So we have to spend time visualizing that and being absolutely certain beyond the shadow of a doubt that that will happen. So, so that good lessons from the energy bus today. So be thinking about that as you go throughout your day. And you are on the right bus. We're all on the right bus together. This is a good time to be thinking about, are you plugging into all your resources? Are you checking out, right, the webinars? I got Back in My Life book. I'm talking to my coaches. Am I plugging into the webinars? Am I on my food plan and my hydration plan? Those are the basics, and we're always in some sort of flux. with them. And Sandy right now has a whole lot of mess going on because her mom is in the process of passing. So she's her bubble is kind of burst a little bit. And so it's okay. We're going to blow it back up. You know how to get it blown back up. We just take one step at a time. So, right. So sometimes life happens and we gotta, if we take a few hits and get some dents in the tires or in the rims, we'll just pound them back out. So not to worry, because we're here for you to support you and every single step of the way. Women, and we're going to talk about this, celebrate some wins today. For sure, what our non-scale victories were, what our scale victories were, what you're losing in mental weight, what you're gaining in mental health, those sorts of things. And what we got out of the women's health webinar. I think that they were really, really raw. I loved listening to them, and I don't have children, but I think two or three of them had, but I think every single woman can relate to what those ladies had to say. There's no question about it, don't you think? It's just women. We have trouble being over pleasers, over givers, over doers. And whether or not we have kids, it's a disease we call chronic codependency. So, Sandy, I don't know how long you can stay, so let's have you go first, okay? So, wins of the week, bent rims, moments that you want, let's focus.
So I was thinking about, I do have some really fantastic wins in interacting with mom and what's going on.
Good.
We are she's been at the hospital for over a week, and tomorrow she transfers to a hospice unit at a nursing home. Well, many years ago, she said to me, promise me you'll never send me to a nursing home. And I said to her, no, I will not make a promise I cannot keep, because I keep my promises.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 days ago, when it came down to you need to move to a skilled nursing unit unless you pass at the hospital, which hasn't happened. So I said to her, it's the only place that you can be safe. You can't go back to the assisted living where you've been. You don't want to live with me, and I can't take care of you anyway. It's the only place for you to be safe and comfortable. So that's where you need to go. She said, okay, I understand. So that was huge. And then usually when I am spending time with her, she is like just telling me what to do all the time, or what I didn't do right, or whatever. Well, I have a little a book of questions that her church created for Lent, where you ask a question and record your answers. And I said, I want you to answer these questions for me. Well, I can't write. I said, well, I can write. You can talk, I can write. So we got through about 15 of the questions, half the book. We've got about 15 more. So I was just asking her questions, and it distracted her from bossing me around and telling me what to do. And I felt like I was really her daughter and having a nice visit. And it was wonderful.
That's wonderful.
And the whole idea that I'm stressed because it's been a process trying to get her placed in all these things and get her out of her apartment and paperwork and everything. But I'm not losing my mind like I would have in the past. I would have been so stressed to the hilt. I just focused on, she needs to do this. I need to take care of this, and this. I had several people praying for her to find a place where it would be comfortable. And I'm not feeling upset. She said to me, don't be crying. Don't be sad. I said, well, Mom, let's be real here. There will be some crying, but you can be assured that I am a strong woman and I will survive. So it's not that it's easy, but I just feel at peace. Now, I haven't been walking. I haven't been eating a normal diet. I haven't been drinking properly, but I've been doing the Bible study. I've been doing what I need to do each day to move along. And I'm feeling like I'm in a really good place, even though I'm not doing the physical healthy things. I'm doing a lot of emotional work, which is a lot.
So if you all knew Sandy 20 years ago, her emotional resiliency has gone from 0 to 100.
I believe it.
And honestly, I feel so blessed to have watched this process. So don't ever beat yourself up about the weight thing, right? The food and hydration thing. Again, it'll come. It's a balloon, right? We'll pound it out. You're winning at this is the most difficult game, and you've grown so much. You've lost, I'll say it like this, everybody. She's lost a lot, 100 pounds of mental baggage. Right?
Good, good,
Yeah.
good.
And when we were talking about her life, and I asked her happiest part of her life, I guess I was thinking she would have said getting married, having children, whatever. Nope, it was her teenage years.
Oh,
But 20 years ago, that would have made me just really upset and mad. It did not at all. I'm thinking, you know what? In a way, that's kind of my happiest years too, when you're free before all the responsibility and
Yeah.
things,
yeah.
it was just really, oh, and then she said, oh yeah, and then of course having twins, that was so much fun. It was a lot of work, but it was so much fun. So she got that in there too.
Oh,
But
good.
it was just so, I don't know. It's just been pleasant
That's-
interactions.
Well, being committed to lifelong learning is Sandy. She is a learner. She's a trainer. She's a go-getter. Like, and if we just stay, if we don't quit learning and growing, we won't lose ever. So
Right.
you're bravo. You're just,
Yes.
you've just been in process and you're still in process, and we all are taking our hits in our own ways, right? So yeah, if you've got to, if you have to go and do the webinar with your granddaughter, or the face
Well,
call-
I'm just waiting. I actually just waiting for phone calls because
Okay.
the timing in Vegas is 2 hours earlier. So when I get to the hospital later, it'll be maybe her lunch hour or not. We'll just
Okay.
figure it out.
all right.
I'll just stay as long as I can.
Okay, so Martha, I don't know how much time you have, but you haven't been here for a while. So update, if you have to drop off, I want to give you a chance to say wins of the week, losses, wins, lose, win, lose. Where are you in your process? Did you see Monday night's women's webinar, Martha?
I did not see the webinar, but if there's a replay, I definitely want to see it.
Yeah. There is.
Great. Well, if you put the link in the chat, I'll grab it.
Yes.
So I have had a win. I, just like all of you guys, have been a weight loss journey, and I weighed in this past Monday, and I'm now more than halfway to my goal. I'm beyond the halfway part.
Wow.
So
Yay.
yeah, that was really, like, when I started this, I thought there's no way, it's going to take forever, especially because in the past, I usually lost weight because I was training for a race. And by default, the amount of exercise you do makes you lose weight. But this time I'm doing it differently. This time I'm doing it with intentionality, with understanding, with the fact that I want to live 40 more years. It's totally different. And then I said, if I hit that goal, then I will train for a race.
Mhm.
And so I'm super pumped about it. And normally I don't say anything to anyone. And it just so happened I was at the copy machine yesterday at work, and one of our workers, he's 85 years old. He comes up to me, he's like, "Are you training for a race? Because you look good." And so I was like super happy because I haven't told anyone at all that I know, except for you ladies. And I was just like, only he can say that out loud and be okay with it, right? But I was super happy he did, because I was like, well, thanks for noticing. I really appreciate you today.
Wow.
Oh.
That is bravo.
Thank you.
The
That's
part I like the most is the part about you said, no, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to train for the race, because
yeah.
that is the correct, I would say that is the correct motivation, because you're going for, I want to live 40 years longer, not I want to outrun my weight and just torture myself with this training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard way to do it, but I think I'm enjoying the process more because I'm integrating it into my everyday.
It's a lifestyle change, not
Exactly.
a torture myself with training.
Exactly.
I hate that. I could never do. I hated doing that. I couldn't do it.
So
I
thank you.
think for the women's health in there, and you do get emails on that, Martha. You might have to redirect
Yeah.
redirect
Yep, I'll check it.
your
Thank you.
But anyway, anyway, so there's that one, and then the other one is, I'll send another one too. But bravo, because when we do things for the right reasons, we get results better, easier, faster
Yeah.
than we ever expected. Yay! And you are reversing heart disease likely, right? Remember, minor heart disease means you have heart valve, have problems, right? It's not, there's never minor. So we don't know what's going on in there. So we don't know what we're preventing by doing things the right way for the right reasons.
Good.
So congratulations, my dear. And I'm sure you're still looking at that vision board. And I'm still working on my third one. I haven't glued it down yet, but, and I have a fourth one. It's coming after that. So
Good for you.
I've got
Well,
go ahead.
I put that vision board next to my chair at work, and randomly one day I just turned my chair. I wasn't intending to look at the vision board, and I looked at it, and I looked at all the sections, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. And I was like, oh wow, it's really working. Like
Oh,
it's subliminally working because I'm actually doing the things I said I would try to do this year.
Hmm. And that is fantastic. Bravo. So everybody, y'all keep looking at your vision boards because they work. Yep. Razzie's on the job. Reticular activating system is on the job. It's trying to get it done for you when you're not even thinking about it. So, okay. So now I'm going to try to clear out what I have in the chat here. And I can put something else in there. Okay. So how about Betty? Did you watch Monday night? Karen?
no, I don't get on there, but
Hi, Wendy. Hi, Margot.
no, I try to. It's been, the last couple of weeks have been kind of hard. When I hear stories like Sandy's, and I think, you have nothing to complain about, but I've just been, the vision board is what has saved me, because a couple times I just went in, I just stopped everything and went in and I worked on it. Well, I'm making a quilt about it, and that's my thing. That's what I can save. And I've gone back and I've done research on my notes that I've had, and I've gone back and I've reread the books and redone, and it has just pulled me out of a deep hole, and it has it really has worked. And just redoing it and making it, it's just amazing. And it's like, gee, I don't remember that, but it's there. I wrote it myself, so I did do it. I did. And I'm back on track. I managed to put myself back on a goal. I managed to get one for my food and one for my the walking, just 3,000 steps, and I'm doing that. And just sometimes the last couple of weeks I've dressed up, shown up, and been here, and that this, you get dressed, you wake up, you get up, you get dressed, you show up, and you guys have helped me so much. And I'm realizing that today, whereas the last 2 weeks, it was just sort of like dragging in. I really appreciate it. And I just want to shout out to Sandy.
Is it every day you're getting up and showing up? Is that every day?
It has been, except for the last couple of days, and I've been working with Dr. Michelle, and that has helped me a lot too.
Good. So one of the things Monday night that the women talked about is, we're so self-destructive, making this excuse that we don't have time for ourselves. And I love the point that they said, yes, we do. And Dr. Anderson teaches, we have all the time in the world. We have to prioritize ourselves.
Little taste you gave, that little piece in their thing, about, yes, that hit the spot. That was really good.
That what I said today was my little summary. Yeah. I'll put my little summary in there too. Yeah. We do have time. We have to we just have to make ourselves that priority.
If you don't make yourself, then you don't put God first either. And that really, it's like, yes, it is. If I'm going to be the temple, then I have to sweep it out and be ready and be clean and make time.
Did you love that graphic?
Yes. Yeah.
That
Very
was
good.
awesome. Yeah, check the chat for that. I can't send it. It's too big here, but yeah, there was well, anyway, I could send the graphic possibly. I gotta find it. But anyways, we do have time. Prioritize yourself. What matters. Here's the other thing is that one of the things from Monday night they talked about is women have a hard time under knowing the problem. One of the problems women don't, and I can't remember which one said this, but don't make themselves first or take time for themselves is because they don't know what they want. We can't prioritize what matters most when we don't even know.
That's true.
We don't even take the time to know what matters most. What do you want your life to look like at the end of the day when Sandy's mom is in the hospital? What do you want to look back on? Her mom is creating that life. We're all creating that life at the end of life. We created what we got.
Yeah.
And do we like what we got or do we want something different? Because we have to prioritize it. There's no other way. No one's coming to save us.
Yeah.
There's no one coming to save you. You gotta save yourself, and you gotta free, so I thought that was very profound, particularly given Sandy's situation too, is that you don't end up with what you want at the end of the day on your deathbed. You end up with something someone else had wanted for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to the grave with regret. No way.
Yeah.
No
No one
way.
wants that. And Sandy looks gorgeous. She looks better now than I've ever seen her since I've known her in June, from June.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep. And Sharon,
It's the orange shirt.
yeah.
No, it's not your shirt. It's your face. Just the whole thing. You're glowing. You are glowing. I can tell you've made peace, It shows.
Yeah. And Sharon, I want to draw on you because Sharon's on a mission, y'all. I'm telling you, this woman, 4 years of doing challenges and dabbling with sugar addiction and finally admitting it and jumping off the cliff and saying, okay, right, uncle, I got to do this. And she's done it. And you all know her story, 300 days or 400 days. I don't know how many days now of sugar. You're on mute, Sharon. She's lost track. It's a part of her lifestyle. She's lost track. I don't know, 350, maybe 350 days. Who knows? But nonetheless, it's such a lifestyle. She has lost track. But Sharon, I want to draw on Sharon because she is on a mission. Her heart is on her sleeve everywhere. She's had so many deaths recently, and friends and family and group, and she just the very recent one was the guy retired, and they were going to do all this stuff with their retirement, and they were going to start a Mediterranean diet after he retired.
Mm-hmm.
And he died.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, do you know how many people have that story? Like you can't wait to do this stuff. You just can't, or it's crazy. So Sharon has been, she hears everything, and she's writing down everything. And when someone says, I'm pre-diabetic, or someone's complaining about this or that or the other thing, she literally has a list. She's writing it down, and she's going back and going, I heard you talking about. And would you like to join the challenge? Would you like some healthy recipes? Because she is so heartbroken about all this. Sharon, tell us kind of where you're, what you're getting out of this now that you've been really actively learning, looking and mentoring and helping other people. What's your takeaway? And even for Monday night, what'd you get out of the women's health? Oh, we lost her.
Oh, I don't know where my picture is, but
Okay.
anyway, I'm just like, there are so many people that need help. It just amazed, I told Amy, I said, I went to a funeral and I said, oh my gosh, sitting around the table, I'm just like, oh boy.
She was overwhelmed.
I was like, yeah, I was overwhelmed.
With how many people need to learn what we know, what we're doing. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but a win, well, that's a win, that I just reach out,
Yeah, huge,
reach
huge
out to
win,
who I can
huge win. Mhm.
and
Sticking her neck out, offering healthy recipes, offering to walk with people, offering the challenge. Like she's just putting her neck out.
It's good. That is good.
but the win kind of is that, I mean, I've had people make comments about my husband, about how we both
Really?
look, about how we really, I mean, I had at this funeral, I don't know how many people say, you look just great, you look amazing. I'm just like, okay, I mean, and I kind of respond with, that's how I feel. I feel amazing.
Thank you. I feel
Very
amazing. And
good.
what do they say about your husband now? He's getting this through osmosis because he has to.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I've had a couple people say, to him, not kind of not to me, but to him, making comments kind of to somebody else about him. And so people are noticing him, although, I mean, he hasn't had a scale, win, but there's been a lot of other wins.
Mhm.
Good.
He's definitely eating healthier and putting up with all my recipe tries, and he,
And they're noticing his behavior changes probably.
one of his brothers said, I think he's lost some weight. Her sister-in-law said to his brother, I think he's lost some weight. And I think he looks like he's just trimming,
Mhm.
not necessarily losing weight, but just
Yeah.
portioning.
He's leaning
Good.
up. He's leaning up.
Yeah.
Well,
He's-
what happens is first thing that happens when we get our anti-inflammatory diet is that all that water weight from the toxicity goes away. And so we really look so much healthier and thinner just because of
Yeah.
that toxicity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I, a couple weeks ago, I did I put out a challenge that I was going to climb this climbing wall, and I did that. So I climbed the wall at the wellness center. So,
She did.
and
Okay. I have got to find out where to put that in the chat. People have got to see that.
so I climbed this wall, and now I want to climb more walls.
Mhm.
So that was super exciting. And from the challenge, that was a great Monday night. I mean, one note I wrote was, this is more than a program, it's a path. I mean, we're leading our families down a better path. I mean, we're just being leaders for our family. And
That's a great thing. It's not a program, it's a path.
yep, that first girl said that, Rachel.
I love that.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that is
I like
good.
that.
A path, and we've chosen the path. Oh, I love it.
So, yep, I liked that. We're on a path. Instead of
Yes.
sometimes a journey, we say, well, we're on a path, But
Mhm.
anyway, there are a lot of good takeaways.
And I felt like you should have been on the webinar about the sugar addiction one. The woman that was saying thank God for Dr. Anderson, because he's the one. If I hadn't been for element 16, I wouldn't know that I wasn't insane, that I was in a dopamine serotonin addiction loop. She said, I love the way she described it, because she said she was such a dieted in the dark, and she was so addicted to food and sugar, didn't understand the addiction loop, the dopamine and the hits and the addiction piece until element 16. And she said, it's changed my life, because now I understand I'm really, truly not insane. I thought I was insane. I thought I had an insanity problem. I thought I had a mental problem, and what I really had was a chemical addiction. And she said, it's changed everything for me. So I love that piece of it, because that, of course, has happened to me. It's happened to Sharon and other people, many, many people who don't understand, about sugar addiction. And by the way, here's Sharon. I found out how to post this. There's Sharon on the wall. 69 years old, Sharon, or 68? I can't remember how old you are.
68.
68. Climbing the climbing wall. 68, y'all. How cool is that? How
It was
cool.
pretty fun. And I wasn't scared or I was just like, I'm gonna do this, you know?
We celebrate you, lady. You are fantastic.
Yes,
It's
yes,
fantastic.
we do.
Absolutely fantastic. So thank you for sharing and caring and sticking your neck out for all your friends. And hopefully we can keep some of them out of an early grave before they keep saying, I know what to do. I just need to do it because they know they can't do it. Got it. They need help. We all need help. So Roxy, Margot, Kathy, did anybody see the webinar? Kathy, did you see the replay? Yep. What'd you get? Oh, we unmute.
She's
Girl.
muted.
You're muted.
Excuse me.
Oh, Wendy had to go. She says goodbye. Bye, Wendy. Bye. Love you,
Bye,
sweet. You're coming.
Wendy.
Hello, goodbye.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I like the one quote she said, I can't remember which one it was. It is not selfish to take care of yourself. And so
Yes.
as women, we want to take care of everybody else, but we don't take care of ourselves because I don't know, sometimes I did feel like it was selfish. But I certainly don't feel that way now, but I can totally understand how she was talking about that. And then just, I like the part about, like you had already mentioned, Amy, about we just have to prioritize. It has to be a part of our day, what we do for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I put on my Facebook story another graphic is if you don't put yourself first, what you've taught other people is okay to put you second.
Right.
It's okay to put you last. I mean, really. You teach people that, and particularly kids, you got to know, no, this is mommy's time, you know, and this is my time to do me, you know, and I'm a human being. In the webinar I listened to this weekend, your job is you are a human being. You've been given one job, and that is to take care of yourself, and you've got to put yourself on that list first. So yeah, what else, Kathy? What else did you get?
And she said, we all have time for things that matter most, which is so true. And
Yep.
then about the simplicity of the plan. I mean, it really is. It's all laid out for us. And so there's really no excuses, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. Weight loss or weight sustaining or, you know, a healthy lifestyle doesn't matter. We've got the plans for you to pull off no matter what way you want to skin the cat. You know, GPS is the same. You can highway, rural route, or interstate, right? So, or, you know what I'm saying? It really is. We've got the map. We've got the path. I love that. Whoever said that, that was brilliant. Anything else? Other wins of the week or losses that you have to share, Kathy?
No, I exercised. The weather here was beautiful. We hit a almost 80-degree day one day. So I went on a very long walk and it just felt so good. Of course, then the next day it was freezing, but.
That's Iowa. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the country. So good for you. Bravo. Thank you for sharing and continuing to learn and grow with us. How about you? I don't know who someone's on HTTP. I'm not sure who that is, but Roxy and Margot, what do you got?
Go ahead, Roxy.
Okay. Yeah, I just remember that as women, we always nurture others, but we forgot about ourselves.
Mhm.
And we have to put the mask first and help others. And also they say that also Octavia just came in a box, but it's not just what is in the box. So we have plenty of resources to grow up and make ourselves like we can help others. So, yeah.
The box is just like so small compared to everything that we have available, right? It's like, yeah.
Yes, that was very interesting.
It's fantastic. And so what's your biggest win of the week, do you think? Any losses, any things you're challenging coming up with?
Yeah, while I was in program, it's been really hard now to get the 10 pounds that I want. because now it's not like it was 3 years ago. I mean, 3 years ago, I was here and stuck in the house and it was very easy.
Yeah.
But now going out, eat with friends, it's really, really hard. I did really good on Saturday because I went to with a party and for chili and everything. So I brought the vegetables and I was okay. No dessert for me. And it was, yeah. But Sunday, I fell.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but still, I mean, today I weighed myself and I lost 2 pounds. So I was jumping. I was like, oh, yeah, it was total. I'm going 5.5 pounds down.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I was jumping and very happy. So that gives me again like, okay, I can do this, because I was kind of, oh no, this is gonna be hard.
So you said Sunday you fell, okay, right? So when you get up, you go, okay, page 136, what happened? What did you want to have happen? What's missing and what's next? Did you walk yourself through that after you skinned your knees?
No, not really. But I knew it. Like I really want to be in my healthy weight, and
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, I just sleep. I said I just have to go back as soon as possible.
So I challenge you I challenge you not to just go, oh, I have to go back to discipline, right? I got to get back to discipline, but to challenge your thinking and go back and think, what was I thinking? What happened? What was I feeling? What was I thinking? What was I saying to myself in my head? So go to element number 23 and ask yourself the questions in that chapter. What's at stake here? What do I want to have happen? What is my ultimate goal? What do I visualize? But what was the stinking thinking that led to you falling?
Yeah, I think
If you don't know what the thoughts were, you can't cut them off at the pass. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know what the thoughts are. I mean, because I think I wasn't really thinking. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you weren't thinking. So if you weren't thinking and you didn't have a thought, you were being mindless, right? What was the reason behind you acting mindless? What were you trying to avoid?
No, it's up to.
Because mindlessness is trying to avoid an emotion. Our brain shuts down to protect ourselves emotionally. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Dig into that emotion. Why were you being mindless? Why were you not paying attention? What was going on underneath that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good, but spend some time thinking about it, because it will really help you to stay on track the next time. Yeah.
I
And
will check element 23.
yeah, and having a talk with yourself before you go to the event. Now, I know there's going to be chili. I know there's going to be a dessert. Okay, self, is that more important than me feeling great about myself tomorrow? No, it's not. Right? What about you, Margot?
I think Monday night was just a repeat of what I've known, but it was good to hear it again. And the biggest thing was the issue of we get so focused on taking care of everybody else that we put ourselves last.
Mhm.
And you put yourself last and you put yourself at risk all the time. And as soon as Roxy was talking, I was thinking of some of the falls I've had and where was my head at the time that they occurred. And on a couple of them, I know I was thinking totally about something else. I was taking steps and I was making movement, but I wasn't thinking about those steps or thinking about that movement. I was thinking about the next thing I was going to do. And instead, the next thing I did was land on the floor and break an arm or break a this or do,
So instead of being mindful with what you're, doing one thing.
Yeah, being in your space at the time you're there.
Yeah.
Not constantly drifting off into all these other things that most generally aren't important anyway.
being present to your space and
being,
place.
that's exactly it. Yeah, and that was a lot of it. But for me, the biggest win, and maybe some of the women don't know that I have been being challenged over the last several years with venous wounds on my legs due to my diabetes. And it's caused some real problems with circulation and those kind of things. Well, I had a visit with my vascular surgeon on Monday, and like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, they were forewarning me about the possibility of amputation of my right leg. And we started a big treatment protocol to have that not happen. And I had an angiogram, I had stents put, I had all kinds of things done, but did a lot of other things as well that also had to do with eating healthy and moving as much as I can, as often as I can. And Monday, he just said, I am amazed at how well you are doing. He said, the stents are wide open. The balloons we did are flowing freely. Their circulation is great. He said, you're in really good shape. He said, he just said, just keep it up. Don't stop. So, yes, it
So
was
Margot,
awesome.
I can't, I'm gonna cry. Honestly, I'm just gonna cry. It is just, you know what?
Well, you know what a long journey it's been.
Are you committed to your life? Are you committed to your best life? Are you committed to keeping your foot?
Oh,
Yes.
my leg,
Yes.
my
Keeping
leg.
your leg?
Yes.
Are
Yeah,
you that committed? Do you remember that training we did, that talk we did about equanimity? Have you ever remember commitment, metacognition, and equanimity? Commitment, making a total commitment, like getting married. I'm getting married. I'm not going back, right?
yeah, yeah.
I am making a commitment to keep my leg. I am not going back. She put herself at the top of her priority list, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you know, then in the moment you stop and go, what's at stake? You stop, challenge, choose. Element 4, what's at stake is my commitment to my marriage. I just had a client admit to me her husband's had an affair. Bawling, right? The whole thing. If you've ever been there, I have, okay? You know how it feels. If you haven't been, you could probably imagine,
Yeah.
right? Roxy's been there, right? We make that commitment and we're devastated, right? Because the commitment fell out, right? And that stop, challenge. How am I going to feel if I do this tomorrow? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How am I really going to feel? How am I going to handle this? How am I going to live with myself? Like, you make that kind of commitment to your health and your life, not your diet.
Oh,
that
yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and then how are you going to feel? Equanimity is that peace of mind that you feel when you keep the commitment to yourself. You were tempted. You could have had the affair too, probably, but you didn't, right?
Yeah.
You were tempted by the chili. You could have eaten it, but you didn't, or the dessert or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, and I could have just let nature take its course and seen what happened.
Absolutely. But you put yourself, yeah, absolutely. So that's the kind of commitment we're talking about. And that's kind of like, you've got to stop and think, guys, what's the impact of my behavior on myself?
Yeah.
And on my commitments, because it's not worth what goes on in my head. That's for sure. I can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
even the doctor said that mental attitude has as much to do with healing as anything else does. And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
he said, you know, I never said this to you, but he said, I remember the day that we sat you down and told you that this might happen. And we were so prepared for you to fall apart and how we were going to shore you up and get you through this. And when we got done telling you, your first words were, okay, so what do I have to do so this doesn't happen?
yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
And we
Yes.
told you, and when we were done telling you, went, okay, I'm
You're gonna
on
do
the
it.
road. This is what we're gonna do.
And the same
Yeah.
thing happened when she had her massive heart attack, not
Ah.
mild or small, but massive heart attack,
Yeah.
okay, that cost her all of her money and bankrupted her. That was like, this woman is she's committed to living. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, she's
Good.
committed to living. And
Good.
I've never seen anyone with a bigger transformation almost than Margot, because honestly, it has been nuts. But I'll
Good,
tell you,
Margot. Good for you.
do you guys have a list? Do you guys have a to-do list every day? Do you have
I
a,
do.
like,
Yeah.
you guys listers?
Yeah.
Do you,
Yeah.
Sharon, are you a lister? Do
Yeah.
you
That he is.
at that list every day?
Do what?
Do you look at the list every day? Does it change? Does it, you check stuff
Oh,
off kind of thing?
It changes, I move it forward, I cross it off, I do whatever, and typically at the end of the day, I write a note on the bottom of it. It said,
Show me your list. Do you guys have your list right now? Can you show me your list? Do you actually have one?
I can go get it.
Okay.
that's my book.
Okay.
Here-
You need to be on the list. I want you to look and see if you're on your list. Are you on your list? Are you actually on your list?
Okay,
Because if you're not, you got to put yourself there and first. And what I painfully learned over the last 3 years, and the women talked about this, how painful it is, how horrible it is, because you have to put yourself first and take the time when you feel guilty. You feel guilty, you feel like it's wrong, you feel like it's all kinds of wrong. Okay, put yourself first. Raise your hand if you felt like it's all kind of wrong. Guilt,
Oh, yeah.
right? It's not right. You're not good enough. You don't deserve to be on the list, right? Whatever goes through your head, you're feeling it's a mental emotional issue, but I have painfully learned from my other coaches that I work with, I've got 4, to put a list, and literally I put my priorities in order in a circle. Do you know the optimal life clock? You know the optimal life clock
Yeah.
goes with my circle calendar. And I put I can't really see this, but I put my priorities in order from right to left around the clock. And I put myself first on that. And my list goes like circularly, and I do myself first in the morning. Okay. Does that make sense? Be somewhere on your list, but be at the top of that. However you do your list, I love the circle because it just taught me that time doesn't run out. Time is, circular. It does reduce. However, time is precious because you can't ever get it back. It's once it's gone, right? So
Yeah.
we need
On my list, my first thing for today was I may not have to lose more weight from how I look on the outside, but I always have to be concentrated on the inside because that's where my health lays.
Mhm.
Yeah. Your mental health, mental baggage. Mental baggage is worse than physical baggage.
Well, it's also your physical baggage on the inside.
Yeah.
And you can't
Yeah.
see that.
Yep.
You can't head to toe, you can't see it.
Although my name is not on my list, it is part of me because every morning I get up, I do my Bible study with Steve. I
Good.
get myself dressed, I make my bed.
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe not the walk or the other things, but I haven't let go of those to start the day.
Good. So those are you're unconsciously competent at those. So you don't need to check them off anymore because they're unconsciously competent. The things you're not unconsciously competent, you need to still work on them. They need to be on the list. Those ones. Does that make sense? Because
It
we
does.
need to still remember them. We need to still go, oh yeah. It's not automatic yet, right? If it's not automatic, put it on the list. All right. So that's yeah. So anywho, okay, this was great, you guys. I really appreciated this today, and I appreciate you being here and learning and growing with all of you. Go and comment on Kim Miller's post. We're not going to share the climbing wall just yet with Sharon's. We'll share that later, but you guys got the private first peek at her.
Good. Yes.
And her brother, we're holding off on her brother's before and after too, because he's doing great. But go to Kim Miller. She had a 3-year anniversary And we don't even, she's on my page and I put her in the chat and she put herself in the Optimal Life group. But we don't even talk about weight. We don't even talk about nothing like that. We're so at the end of the book, we're talking about her life purpose, and she's on, element 24 through 23 through 26. And it's just fun. So you know what? It's not an issue anymore. She's unconsciously competent with her maintenance and weight. And we just get to play and have fun and create. So
We gotta
that's-
go. Love you
yeah,
guys.
guys, that's where we're all
Love
going.
you.
Love you.
Take
and
care,
we'll talk to
Sandy.
you soon. Yeah. Bye, everybody. Love and hugs.
Love you
Martin and
guys.
Wilson.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.